Yetunde froze in shock, realizing that Bimpe would find out her secret soon. She could not afford to let the secret slip open, or she would become a laughingstock within a Kirun village. She needed to keep Bimpe in the shadows. Bimpe, you belong in the shadows. You cannot take all that I have built, she said to herself as she quickly ran after Bimpe. She called her name frantically. Bimpe! 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 As she ran, her heart pounded faster. She could not let Bimpe take the spotlight. Not now. Bimpe heard someone calling her name behind her. She immediately looked back to see who it was. She was terrified as she saw Yetunde running towards her like she had seen a ghost. Yetunde, Kilele, Bimpe said as she looked around in wonder, but did not see what was chasing Yetunde. Yetunde sighed in relief as she was happy that she could catch up with Bimpe. Nothing at all, my dear friend. I just wanted to catch up with you. I know the owners of the store outlets and I want you to have the very best. I will take you there, she smiled mischievously. Thank you, Bimpe said. This made Adebimpe so happy. She was pleased that her friend Yetunde ran all the way to help her get the best store. My shy friend, there is a store owner I would like you to meet. His name is Kunle. He has one of the best stores in the market square. I will do the talking, okay? Yetunde told Bimpe like she did not need an answer. Adebimpe did not buy the idea. She frowned and looked at Yetunde. My friend, I know you mean well, but I am no longer shy. I would like to do this for myself, but your opinion is welcome. Yetunde was not having it. She immediately accused Adebimpe of being rude and trying to discard her. She turned angrily to Adebimpe. When you needed me, I was there. Your designs are so hard to sell. Even at that, I still tried to convince the buyers that they should buy them. Now, because of the little money you have, you are insulting me. Yetunde started faking tears. Adebimpe was shocked and sad as she meant no harm. My friend, I am sorry. She proceeded to hold Yetunde's hand, but Yetunde looked at her and yelled, Do not touch me. You can go ahead and do it your way. She turned around and started walking back to her hut. She took a few steps and turned around to check if Adebimpe was behind her, but she was not. She saw Adebimpe continuing her journey to the market square. How could Bimpe suddenly be able to live without her? How is that possible? She kept talking to herself as she went back to her hut. She shut her door and sat down on the bed as soon as she got to her hut. Fuming and scared at what might happen next if Bimpe successfully opened a store, Adebimpe continued her journey and arrived at the village market square and asked about the store owners. The attire she wore made people stare at her. She was calm, beautiful and soft-spoken. The market woman directed her to one of the biggest and nicest store owners in the village, Madam Fumilayo. She was wealthy, nice and lovable. She had stores all over the village and the outskirts. Good morning, ma, Adebimpe greeted. Ah, my daughter. Good morning. She looked at Adebimpe with beautiful eyes. You are gorgeous and respectful. How can I be of help to you? She said. Adebimpe thanked Madam Fumi and told her of her plans to open a store to sell ashoki and other sewn clothing. Madam Fumi acknowledged and told her of her price as it was a big store she was renting out. The money was 2 times bigger than the money Adebimpe had saved. Please, give me some time. I will get the money. I am hardworking, Adebimpe pleaded, hoping Madam Fumi would give her the store while she paid the rest of the money. Madam Fumi told her she would think about it and that she should come back in 2 days. Adebimpe went back to her hut, excited about the progress she had made. "Oh Lord, please favor me," she smiled as she looked into the heavens. There was a light pour of rain. It felt like that was the sign that her prayers were heard. She started dancing on the spot. Her heart was full of joy. She felt alive. Finally, she was living and not just being alive. She got home and changed into new clothing. She thought of visiting Yetunde to apologize for the misunderstanding, but she decided to eat first. Meanwhile, Yetunde was pacing around her hut, angry. She knew she had to act fast. She remembered her mother speaking of a spiritualist who was notorious for native charms and doing bad to people. Because of that, she was chased to the outskirts of intrguing village. She decided to pay a visit to the spiritualist. Yetunde asked her neighbors of the spiritualist's house, and she claimed she was sick and none of the village medicine men had been able to help her. They in turn gave her the location, but she was disappointed it was far and she couldn't make the journey in a day. She thought of a clever plan so she would not have to go to the spiritualist twice. She decided to go to Adebimpe's hut. Yetunde arrived at Adebimpe's hut. Bimpe was eating her dinner when she heard the knock and she realized it was Yetunde at the door. She was happy. "Yetunde, ọ̀rẹ́ mi, I was just about to come to your house. I wanted to finish my dinner so I could visit. I hope you're no longer upset about earlier," she asked with a smile on her face. Yetunde pretended to be happy and told her all was well. "Bimpe, I am going to see my aunt tomorrow morning. Please, do you mind giving me the clothes you wore today? It was so beautiful. I admired the colors on it," Yetunde told Bimpe. Bimpe smiled. She was happy her friend was talking to her. "Oh, I have new designs I have not worn. Moreover, the dress is wet," Bimpe told her and brought out a beautiful dress for Yetunde. "I don't want that one," Yetunde snapped. She was becoming impatient as she needed to set out on her journey before it gets dark. Bimpe looked surprised as she wondered why Yetunde would reject a new woven attire to her wet dress. "I am not sure of when it will be dried, but if you are willing to wait, I will wash it and get it sent to you," Bimpe said. "It is fine. I will wear something else. Could you get me some food?" Yetunde asked, faking a smile. Bimpe went to the kitchen to get food for Yetunde. Yetunde quickly used the opportunity to get one of Bimpe's worn clothes and hid it into her dress. As soon as Bimpe came back, Yetunde hurriedly ate the food and bade Adebimpe good night. While everyone was asleep, Yetunde started her journey to the spiritualist. She ventured into the thick forest, following the direction she got from the villagers. When she got there, she saw a hut in the middle of the thick forest. She was glad she made it in time. She walked towards it. As she was about to knock, a voice stopped her. "Ẹ gbà mí o, child of the soil, have you lost your way?" The voice echoed and sent a shiver down Yetunde's spine. The hairs on her skin stood as she was covered with goosebumps. The voice sounded like it was behind her, but when she turned, she saw nobody. She became more terrified. "Who is there? Where are you?" Yetunde stuttered. She turned back to face the hut and quickly saw a rickety old woman. Her hair was all grey and it looked like she had not brushed it for years. She held her walking stick with two hands. The wrappers on her chest were barely covering her. She looked dry. "Pardon my look. I do not have too many visitors these days," the old woman smiled. revealing her few sets of teeth, which looked black. Her nails were long and dirty, her hands were covered in sand, and she had an evil stare. Yetunde tried to force a smile. "I need your help. I want my friend Adebimpe to listen to me and continuously be my shadow. I want her kept in the shadows, timid and scared. I want to be her only friend and eyes to the outside world." The old woman laughed at Yetunde's request. "Do you have anything that belongs to her?" "Yes, I do," Yetunde replied as she handed Bimpe's clothes to her. The old woman went into her hut and got a large mirror. She placed Bimpe's outfit over the mirror and shook her head. "She has a bright destiny. It is almost impossible to make her your shadow. You should go back. She will help you someday." "It is not impossible. Please don't let her take the name I have built," Yetunde cried and begged, falling to her knees like her life depended on it. "You stole from her," the woman fired back. Her eyes glowed. "The price to pay is huge and very costly," she said and laughed. "I will pay the price. I am willing to pay any price, as long as Bimpe only listens to me and becomes my shadow," Yetunde said. The old woman giggled. "You are indeed a greedy one. But I must warn, make sure you follow the guidelines I shall give." Yetunde nodded in return. The old woman looked at the mirror and pointed at Yetunde. "Your womb is the prize," she said. Yetunde was shocked. How would she give birth? She had hoped that when Ayo got back, she would make him fall for her. How does she plan to have a peaceful marriage without children? Many thoughts ran through her mind. She was her mother's only daughter, but it was either that or Adebimpe would start her store and become the wealthiest and most gifted Ashoke weaver in Ikinu village. Her greed took over as she thought of the life she would be able to afford as long as she could control Adebimpe. She agreed and told the old woman that she was willing to sacrifice her womb. The old woman made a concoction which Yetunde ate. Yetunde was instructed to dance around Bimpe's clothes and say what she wanted to see. The old woman told Yetunde that Bimpe must wear the clothes to sleep till the next day. Then anything she tells Bimpe to do, she will do. Just as Yetunde turned to leave, she felt a sharp pain in her lower belly. The old woman laughed. "It is done," she said. Yetunde arrived at her hut and hid Bimpe's clothes beneath her bed. She lay on her bed as she felt so much pain, but found solace and happiness when she thought of how she would be known as the gifted Ashoke weaver of Ikiru. The next day, the sun rose in the sky, shining brightly, and the cool breeze greeted Yetunde gently on her skin. She smiled and sang as she swept her compound. She was happy and greeted her neighbors as they passed her compound. She was excited. She got ready and went to see Adebimpe. Bimpe had just woken up and was getting ready to sweep her compound. "Ah, Yetunde, Oremi, what are you doing here so early? What is making you smile?" Bimpe asked, smiling back, eager to hear the good news. "Nothing, dear. Just that sales have gotten better. I will be heading to the store now. I decided to come and collect the attires you would like me to sell for you." But Bimpe told her not to worry as she was going to see Madam Fumi and hopefully start the next day. Yetunde was shocked as Bimpe had already started making moves. She had no woven clothes to sell. She had to act fast, so she quickly gave Bimpe her clothes. "I was just going through my clothes and I saw your clothes. I even washed them for you," Yetunde said as she laughed, trying to cover the mischief in her voice. Adebimpe was surprised as she was sure that she had those clothes in her bag. She thanked Yetunde. You should wear them tonight. I washed them specially for you. They will be cool on your skin for a sound sleep, Yetunde told her friend. Bimpe thanked her and they said goodbye. Adebimpe finished her chores and went to see Madame Fumi. Madame Fumi was delighted to see Bimpe. I have thought about it, and though I do not know you well, I will give you the store. Pay when you can, Madame Fumi told Bimpe, and she gave Bimpe the keys to the store. Bimpe was excited and grateful. She went on her knees, but Madame Fumi stopped her and told her it was okay. When they both came to check the store, Adebimpe was excited to see it was the biggest store that Madame Fumi had offered her. Bimpe thanked her for her kindness. She could not believe she got it on a platter of gold. She decided to branch to Yetunde's store, but the store was closed. Bimpe went to Yetunde's hut. She knocked several times, but no one answered. Meanwhile, Yetunde was in her hut, but she pretended. She kept quiet till she heard Bimpe's footstep receding. She did not want to answer questions. Bimpe went back to her hut and continued weaving. When it was time to go to bed, she remembered what Yetunde told her about the cloth, so she put it on. She lay down to sleep, but it was not comfortable, so she pulled it off and put on something else. She prayed and hoped her store would be blessed. Bimpe slept soundly. The night was as slow as a tortoise. Yetunde kept tossing on the bed. She could not sleep. She kept on imagining the massive wealth she was about to encounter, the land she will acquire. She giggled on her bed like a child who had been given sweets. When she thinks of not doing the hard work of weaving the designs, she becomes more grateful for the spiritualists. Fear gripped her heart suddenly as she remembered the old woman's words. If she does not wear the cloth, you will be disgraced and death will be your only peace. She hoped Bimpe would wear it to make her happy. The next day came with heavy clouds. The air smelt like rain and birds chirped like they were humming a song. The cloud looked heavy and was about to pour down heavily. Yetunde prepared in a haste to collect the clothes from Bimpe, but as she came closer, she saw Ayo and Bimpe together. They were talking. She was shocked to her spine. How did he get here? She said to herself. The 2 weeks he gave her had not elapsed. She hid herself to watch and eavesdrop on their conversation. Why have you come here to see me? Why are you here? Bimpe frowned at Ayo. What do you mean, why am I here? Ayo asked her, shocked at how cold Adebimpe replied him. Bimpe laughed at Ayo's pretense. You said you don't want to have anything to do with me. Please leave. Ayo insisted on explaining himself, but Adebimpe did not give Ayo a chance to explain. She carried the pot of water which was beside her and poured it on him. Ayo was embarrassed and hurt. Adebimpe, how could you do this? He asked her. Meanwhile, Yetunde, who was hiding, was having a good laugh as she watched them argue. Ayo left angrily. Bimpe fell to the floor. She was hurt about all Ayo said, and his denial even hurt her more. Yetunde came out of her hiding place to console Adebimpe. Bimpe sunk into her arms, weeping. He denied it all, Yetunde. He even lied he gave you golden bracelets. Yetunde hugged her and wiped her tears. She looked Bimpe in the eyes and said, I told you he was of no good. A better man will come your way for you. Bimpe nodded in agreement and told Yetunde of the good news about her store. Bimpe went in to get her clothes to sell for the day. As she arranged her bags of clothes, Yetunde looked around and tapped Bimpe on the shoulder. Go into your room and bring out all the finished woven attires. I will be the one selling while you go back in and continue weaving till I am back, Yetunde commanded. Bimpe started laughing at Yetunde. My friend, if you were trying to cheer me up, then you have won. Go and bring your clothes. Let us go to the market together. Yetunde, in turn, was shocked at Bimpe's response. Could it be that Bimpe did not wear the clothes she requested? She decided to try her luck again, but Bimpe laughed again. She told Yetunde of how Madam Fumi had helped her secure a big store at the center of the local market square. Bimpe told Yetunde she was going to her new store and left. Yetunde went back to her hut, angry and miserable. She was frustrated and started throwing her things on the floor. Just die, Bimpe! You keep stealing everything from me, she yelled and started crying. Gnashing her teeth, she paced around her hut. She thought of a plan and hurriedly went to see the princess. Adebimpe arrived at the market, cleaned her store, and started shedding her attires. In no time, her store was flooded with people buying her designs. She was shocked at the outcome but happy at the same time. Suddenly, a group of palace guards came to drag Adebimpe disgracefully out of her market. Rumors spread that she was a thief and had stolen the woven clothes from Yetunde. The market people called her names. Ole! Ole! They chanted. Some threw stones at her, while others threw rubbish papers as the palace guards dragged her from the market square to the palace. Bimpe cried so hard. She was ashamed and shocked at what was going on. As soon as they got to the palace, she met the princess who summoned her arrest. Is she the one? The princess asked. Yes, she is. She stole all my woven clothes, including your wedding clothes, the voice behind Bimpe said. Bimpe recognized the voice and turned around. She was shocked to see it was Yetunde, her best friend. Do you realize what you have done? The princess asked Bimpe angrily. You stole my special woven cloth, she said. The Oba of Nkiru came into the palace and everyone became quiet. Everybody looked forward to what awaited Adebimpe, the thief. Kabiyesi o, they greeted. Rise, the king said. Everywhere was quiet. You could hear a pin drop. Ayo, the gold trader, walked into the palace. My king, Ayo bowed, and the king permitted him to speak. I know Adebimpe. She is an Ashoke weaver. She can never steal. Lies! Yetunde fired back at Ayo. She looked at Ayo with so much anger. Then she looked at the king and started crying. My king, I trusted Bimpe and she stole all my attires. Yetunde accused Bimpe. The arguments between Ayo and Yetunde went on, but Bimpe was too stunned to speak. She kept mute as she was kneeling, as tears flowed from her eyes on the betrayal and disgrace Yetunde had brought to her. After the king heard from both Ayo and Yetunde, he decided to order a competition between Adebimpe and Yetunde. He took one of their attires and told them to recreate it. Whoever recreates it in the exact pattern is the Ashoke weaver, while the other is the thief, and will dance around the village in disgrace, after which the person will be banished from Nkiru village. Yetunde was shocked as she was not expecting the turnaround of events. The guards were ordered to bring in the woven materials used in weaving. The whole village kept quiet as both Adebimpe and Yetunde started weaving. Adebimpe finished first, while Yetunde was still struggling to weave. It had been a long time she weaved. She struggled till she gave up. She ran out of the palace in shame. The guards ran after her, but her legs were quick. She ran and entered the river and let the current take her deep and deeper into the ends of the river till she could no longer be seen. Adebimpe was sad about her friend's death. She did not get the chance to ask why she betrayed her. Months passed and Bimpe's business kept flourishing. Other villagers traveled far and near to purchase her attires. The Oba of Nkiru made her the royal Ashoke weaver. Everything went well, but she wanted to seek Ayo's forgiveness. He avoided her, not knowing she did all that due to Yetunde's lies. That evening, Bimpe went to pay a visit to Madam Fumi to complete the payment for her store. She was surprised to see Ayo. "Ayo, how are you doing?" Ayo was captivated by Bimpe's beauty. "Are you now stalking me?" he replied her. Madam Fumi came in and asked if Bimpe knew her son. Bimpe was shocked, as she did not know Ayo was her son, and Ayo did not know his mother knew Bimpe. That night, Madam Fumi called Ayo and told him to follow his heart. She told him to hear Bimpe out on the issue, and if he wanted to quit, he could go ahead. The next day, he went to visit Bimpe. She explained all that happened and asked for his forgiveness. He told her that he wanted to marry her. "Please, marry me and make me the happiest man alive." Bimpe was happy and flung her arms around him in happiness. "Yes, I will marry you," she said. They both smiled and laughed. They were happy. Adebimpe and Ayo had a royal wedding, which pleased the king of Nkiru village. People from other villages came to celebrate Adebimpe. Her hard work and gifted hands brought so many good relationships between Nkiru village and other villages, towns, and cities. Adebimpe, the Ashoke weaver, became a household name for years. This story teaches us to be hardworking, truthful, and content. Yetunde was lazy and greedy, and she was disgraced. Adebimpe, who was hardworking, came to light and was rewarded for her hard work. Matthew 15:16 says, "Let your light so shine before men, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven." I hope as you go into the new month, that you give yourself a chance to flourish. Do not hide in the shadows. God has given us the spirit of boldness and has called us to shine. Don't forget to comment on what you learned from the story. Like, follow, and share with your loved ones. Happy Easter! Till we meet again. Bye!